Hi, Bombshells. Cheers. Hot chocolate drink. We're not spilling the tea, we're spilling the chocolate. Feel ko na Pasko. This is Charlotte on a Charlosophy series, a very impromptu one about Christmas gift giving. While I still have my holiday hair, might as well film another thing. In the time that I was buying Christmas gifts, I was also reflecting. You know, I'm married to a foreigner, and actually all of my sisters married to foreigners. Exotic. And they all think that this Filipino culture of gift giving is a little extreme. You know, when you go abroad, what is expected of you? Pasalubong. And although pasalubong is inherently not a bad thing, it's actually supposed to be a thoughtful gesture, it places quite stress, financial pressure, and burden in terms of baggage to the traveler. And these pasalubongs must of course be of a generally cheap nature because you have to buy for a lot of people. They usually end up as tambak. And so although the Philippine culture of gift giving is actually coming from a very thoughtful place, I think it's creating a lot of waste. I think it's creating a lot of financial pressure on people. When somebody gets pregnant, contribution for a baby shower. When somebody gets married, contribution for a bridal shower. When somebody's gonna get baptized, baptismal gift. Aside from baptismal gift, it's the countless birthdays of your 300 inaanaks or godchildren. And it seems as if society sees us as good godparents if we shower our inaanaks or godchildren with gifts. We are seen as thoughtful godparents. We are seen as generous godparents. So these labels are actually placing quite a bit of a burden on us. And I'm sure you're not thinking of it that way because generosity and thoughtfulness are good qualities to have. But we say things like, ang dami ko ng utang sa inaanak ko. Hindi lang bangko ang may utang, pati sa inaanak may utang tayo. And in the first place, if you chose your friends well, then they will not judge you for the kind of material things that you give their children. Your thoughtfulness can be seen and felt through other meaningful. Your thoughtfulness can be seen or felt through other meaningful ways. By remembering their birthdays, remembering to call them on their birthdays. That's one of them. You don't need to send the gift, just greet them on their birthdays. Our inaanaks, our godchildren, won't even remember the gifts that we give them because they're too young. And they will outgrow them so fast that they're only going to be able to use them a few times before it is, once again, tambak. If you're asked to be a ninang or a ninong in a wedding, how much is the unspoken expected amount? Altogether now, 1, 2, 3, 10,000 pesos. Well, at least in the lifestyle that I live and the people surrounding me, I can't speak for everybody, but that amount, 10,000 pesos, is the unspoken expected amount if you're a ninang or a ninong at a wedding. 10,000 pesos is a huge amount. It's exorbitant. It's rent. It is amortization for a car loan. It is 2 months of my electric bill. It is 2 weeks of my groceries. It's 2 weeks milk for your baby? I don't know. I don't have a baby. I feel like it is too much of an inspection. I feel like it is too much of an expectation for an average person. Of course, if your financial capacity is huge, then 10,000 seems reasonable. But for an average person, an average Filipino, I will not cast judgment on people who ask wealthy people to be their ninongs and ninangs at a wedding or baptism of their children. But for me, I was very conscious about my intention in asking someone to be my ninong or ninang. They had to be, for godmothers, my mom goals. And for my godfathers, they were either dad goals or they were like father figures to me. I was very strict with myself and I was very strict with Mr. F. In picking our ninongs and ninangs. I would grill him. I would say, are you sure you look up to this person? Are you sure he's a good person? Are you sure he's someone we want for the rest of our lives to keep in touch with? Not once did their wealth or financial status become a category in me asking them to be my ninang. And in fact, my heart broke when one of my ninangs said to me, Anak, I can't... Oh my God. And in fact, my heart broke when one of my ninangs said to me, Anak, I can't give you much. The chocolate will help. Okay. So in fact, my heart broke when I think one or two, even two of them said that they can't give me much. And in my head, You shouldn't. I'm not expecting you to. That's not why I asked you to be my ninang. Our society has made it so that it placed a burden on them and made them embarrassed. Which is why I'm making this video. I want to push back against that kind of expectation. I want to push back against that needs improvement part of our culture. And I also felt this being on the other end. I was asked to be ninang a few years ago. And I felt the pressure to give 10,000 pesos. And although I spent 10,000 collectively on myself, I do not drop 10,000 easily. The last time I dropped a 10,000 peso item was years ago for a Chanel sunglasses in Paris, which I regretted because it is now just in the drawer. So no, I do not have the capacity to just give off 10,000 pesos. And yet I felt embarrassed. I shouldn't have to feel embarrassed. I fought against that embarrassment and gave them what I could. In fact, I gave them more than I really should have. I gave them more than I could just to save face. I still fell for the pressure. So the purpose of this video is really just to make another Christmas video. I'm just kidding, since I'm wearing my Christmas hair. The purpose of this video is to raise awareness on this kind of mentality that should not be encouraged. And I think this is something that we should not consider normal anymore. We should not have to give up our hard-earned money for the sake of appearances. It is not so much an issue to other cultures as it is to ours. And we're a third world country. We're not supposed to be giving away our money just like that. So I will not just rant, I will provide a suggestion, if I may. I would like to encourage everybody to cut their Christmas budget in half for our friends and family, because our friends and family probably might not need it as much. What I would suggest is the other half, let us make it an outreach initiative. Let us give instead to our unfortunate brothers and sisters who will feel the impact of that giving more than our friends and family. Our friends and family will appreciate it as another gift that they get every year from you. But our unfortunate brothers and sisters will remember it for life. That for once in their life, or for once in a year, they weren't hungry because of some stranger. By cutting your budget in half for your friends and family, you are starting a new standard of the kind of gift that they will receive every year. It creates less expectations. And the second, you are making a huge impact on somebody's life that they will remember forever. So there you go, that's actually it. I expected this to be a short video, so I hope it is. I super enjoyed my hot chocolate while ranting to you. And I hope somehow you enjoyed listening to my random thoughts. Acid never tasted so good. I love you, my F bombshells. Go and be Santa Claus to someone who really needs it this season. Merry Christmas! Woo! Pagbabayaran ko ito mamaya sa acid. Mwah!